This is part 2 of a year of surrender. And it says, just get out of the way and what could it be? Let it shine because the sun is out there? Or is let it shine, let it shine, let it shine? Or is it let it snow, let it snow, let it snow since it's snowing? Well, it's snowy. No, it's something else. And yesterday, this is Peter Svenning from Leadership Art Master Coaching, by the way. Nice to meet you. And yesterday I shared about how the material world, according to the Vedas of India, the old scriptures, is divided into 3 qualities of ignorance, passion, and purity. Kinda. So, and how when I'm infused in enthusiasm and in purity, I go for it. And then I see this amazing opportunity in front of me. I see the image, the perfection, the scenery of when everything is perfect. And then I can get hung up on that. And then after sharing that, I started to feel like I was holding back from my next level of inspiration because it came. And I was afraid of it because I was afraid of going into the ego trap. And then I had a coaching with an amazing leadership art coach. His name is Thomas. He came to me 7 years ago and wanted to train to become a leadership art coach. And already in the first conversation, I was like, wow, this guy is already a master. Why is he coming to me? And he trained with me for a year. He was an amazing student. He had some huge breakthroughs, but he's like more than that, much more than that. And then after a few years of friendship, he started working in my team and he's been a mentor of hundreds of students. Everybody loves him to bits because it's fantastic. He's so fantastic. Once he coached me like 2 years ago. I was sitting in my car at the time and he asked me to open my field behind me. I was sitting in the driver's seat of my car, parked, and I didn't touch anything. And then suddenly the back door of my car just opened as he said, open the energy behind you. And then the car just opened. Yesterday, when I saw him on Zoom, as soon as we got on Zoom, I said, Thomas! And my chair, this never happened before, the chair I was sitting on fell. That's how strong this man's energy is. So we had this amazing coaching where it's like, don't make yourself wrong for it. Because when you're aligned and when you're in enthusiasm, you're just flowing and just flowing. And of course, it feels good for you. And of course, leadership of heart as a separate entity grows. Of course, the audience grows. Of course, the revenue grows. But that's not my goal. My goal is to be in the flow and get out of the way and let the love flow. Get out of the way and feel into the feeling of it. And of course, some concrete stuff happens because we're in action mode. So of course, there's a new video, a new webinar, a new presentation, a new teaching, a new idea, an inspired idea. Like I had an inspired idea yesterday to invite my alumni, everyone who's taken a coach training, to meet with me on Zoom and do a meditation, to light a candle, light an inner light for all our shadows and for the shadows of everyone around us we can see in the world right now and the chaos. How to bring love into the chaos. We're not the only ones doing it, but why not gather the tribe and get it done and feel it? So get out of the way and feel it. And instead of being hung up on the event, the action, the doing, return to the feeling of being in service. And that was so strong for me. So yesterday I had a long meditation. Yeah, I love that. And I was like, yeah, since I've been a monk, it was in India, it was in the Hindu tradition, but that's a lot of traditions, and it was in this this lineage called Bhakti Yoga. Bhakti means devotion, loving service. Yoga means the union with you and the divine being one. So it's actually the path of surrender. And in that tradition, there's a book which is like the Bible of this tradition, and it's called the Bhagavad Gita. This is the first version of it that the guy who spread it to the West came out with. This is a photocopied, not a photocopied, but like a replication of the 1972 edition. It's a big, fat amazing piece. I read it 7 times when I was a monk, and since then I've been reading it probably like 4 times, but here and there. And yesterday I just like, let me get straight to the end of it, to the essence, to the summary. And the summary is it's 700 verses, and it's divided into 18 chapters, and I'm going to read for you. Didn't expect that, but I'm going to read text 61 and text 62 of chapter 18, which is like you've been through a lot to get here. And this is the very two last verses before they go to wrap up, and that's the story. Yes. So this is the very last pieces of teaching in the whole book. I can, of course, try to be like a very monkish guy and read it out in Sanskrit, which is like Ishvara Sarva Bhutanam, but I'm not. I'm going to read it in English and try to explain as good as I can if needed. Okay, so text 61, chapter 18 of Sri Bhagavad Gita, the Song of God, which is Bhagavad Gita, it means the Song of God. Yeah, so here it goes. The Supreme Lord, and I take a break, and if you're not like into calling this spirit God, translate it for yourself, okay? Cool. Back again. The Supreme Lord is situated in everyone's heart. O Arjuna, he's speaking to this guy called Arjuna, and is directing the wanderings of all living entities. Just that piece is enormous if you ask me. The Supreme Lord is situated in everyone's heart and is directing the wanderings of all living entities, who are seated as on a machine made of the material energy. Meaning, in the heart of every living organism, every living being, God is there as well. And that spirit is situated in the human body, or in the material body of all the beings. So that is the verse. And then the next verse is like, okay, so if that's the truth, if God is in everyone and everything, then how do we live in accordance to that in the best way? Great question, I'm glad you asked. So that's the next text. The last one in the whole book. Sorry, this is text 62. The last one was 61. Here goes. Wow. It would be ridiculous for anyone who knows Sanskrit if I try to read it out, but it's beautiful, so I'll do it anyways. So I haven't read this in Sanskrit for like 7 years, so it's gonna be strange, but just listen to the poetry and the sound of it. Tammeva sarvanam gacha sarvabhavena bharata tat prasadat param santim stanam prayasya sattvatam. Sounds cool, huh? Oh, Sishan of Bharata. So, he's talking to this guy again, and he has a lot of beautiful nicknames for him. So, he's basically saying, my brother, my friend, surrender unto him utterly. By his grace, you will attain transcendental peace and the supreme and eternal abode. So, it's basically saying, surrender yourself, let it all go, just be in loving service, and you'll be transcendental peaceful. You'll have the inner peace that you long for. And this is basically the essence of what I'm teaching in Leadership Art Master Coaching. No wonder. So this is the root. If anyone asks, where does it all come from? It doesn't mean that you need to believe in this or anything else, but the essence. And that's what I found. I don't think anyone should go through a 5-year period as a monk. I don't think that's necessary. I don't think anyone should need to live in the rural countryside of India. I don't think that anyone needs to go through a lot of austerities and say goodbye to everything. Because the essence is in all of us. And we are made of love, of truth, of wisdom, of bliss, of an inner calm and peace, which is so wonderful and endless. And that's who we are. And from there we are free. And we are love. And we are joy. And And that's what everyone is seeking. Everybody's walking around these days, doing a lot of stuff to feel good, looking for love in all the wrong places, looking for freedom in all the wrong places, thinking that if I only can get 1 million more, then everything will be good. If I only can get my partner to see me and love me, or if I only can get a new partner, or if I only can upgrade my home, or if this pandemic can only pass, or if I get a new job, or if I can sleep in just for 1 more hour. If this, then I will be joyful, happy, peaceful. Come on. You are that already. So when realizing that I am this, we get the ultimate shortcut to the ultimate result. And sometimes it's hard because we're so entangled and identified with the limiting beliefs and with the trapped feelings of emotions that is unprocessed and traumatically suppressed, and the energetic blocks holding us in those patterns, regardless if we want it or not. So it's like our subconscious and unconscious is holding us gripped, which is totally unnecessary. So that's why we teach all these methods, which is very simple methods, but questions to get you in touch with all those stuck places and release them with ease. And when releasing them, you automatically get in alignment. And when you get in alignment, you get this euphoric, yes, you become the light, basically. You see the light, you become the light takes over all your cells of the body, all your personality traits, your identity. It takes over all your relationships, all the systems you're a part of, your society, your connection with nature, your connection with the universe and the universal and God. And in all times, in all spaces, in all places, in all realities, in all dimensions. And you're one. And in that oneness, you're also unique. You're different. Because you're shining your beautiful sparkle of light into the world. And releasing and relaxing into that, my friend. That's the key. And how do we do that? By surrendering. How do I do that? I do that by surrendering. That's why I'm here now, right now. So I hereby surrender everything into that. That is the ultimate result we all seek for, long for. And that's exactly why this coaching method is designed to get people into that space. But that's not what I came to talk about, the ultimate result of leadership art coaching. I came here to relax and rest into that peace and share it with you. Because this is really why I'm living. This is the purpose of my life. And I'm here now sharing this journey with you to remind myself of why I'm here. Remind myself of why I'm doing everything I'm doing. To be in this, to be in service of this, and listen for the impulse. And when the impulse comes, act on it. Immediately just act on it. And let go of the results. Being in the love and the light, letting go of the results. It's not up to me. And it doesn't really concern me. Has nothing to do with me. Just like this moment now. Like I cannot take credit for this. The sun here, the beautiful nature, and the windows. I cannot take credit for this. Like the universe has been here for 13.8 billion years. It's been conspiring to make this magical moment happen. And sometimes bad stuff, we feel as bad, we judge it as bad stuff happens. But it's still been like building up to that point without us even being here. We came yesterday, man. Leaving tomorrow. So realize who you are. You are this magnificent being. And then allow yourself to surrender into the flow of that. Allow that greatness in you, which is much bigger than you can try to become. Allow it to flow and be you. And whatever comes in front of you, serve that. It sounds like I'm speaking to you. I'm not. I'm speaking to me. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to say you. I can say me. So Peter, relax into that greatness. Allow it to fill you. Allow it to guide you and push you into the next thing, the next situation, the next relation, the next exchange. Allow it to flow. Just surrender into service of that. And let go of the image of what you want. Let go of the goals. Just be here in service. Get out of the way. Let the sun flow. Let the sun shine. Let the flow flow. Let the joy flow. And let it all be. Get out of the way and feel it. That is the title of this. That's what I wrote on top of this post. Get out of the way and feel it. Thank you so much for being here. I hope this was in any way, shape or form good for you. If it was, cool. If you know someone who would love it, you feel free to share it. If not, that's cool too. I love you. I'll be here tomorrow. I'm going live in this group on Facebook called Elevated Master Coaches. You're welcome to come join if you're not here already. You can find us on Facebook. Just search for Elevated Master Coaches. It's always a URL as well pointing to that place. And I'm posting this on my podcast, on my YouTube channel, on my Facebook page, and in the Norwegian Facebook group called Magisk Morgen. Cool name, right? So, yeah. And I had a plan to actually make a blog with all these videos on. But here I am with you today in part 2, installment 2 of A Year of Surrender. Satnam, True Identity. Much love.